Hey there everybody, BlindRob here. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well and that your week is treating you just right. Otherwise, I suggest you go hunt it down and kick its ass until it treats you better. So, for those of you who might have remembered the video I did a little while back where I shared and showed off some miniature statues of Breege, Hela, Freya, and Loki from the All Thing. Lovely Etsy shop, or Etsy shop on Etsy that specializes in miniature figurines, statues of deities. I have since bought another set, this time of three deities. They're in this little box. I knew that, I know that the first five miniature statues that I got, that I shared and showed to you all last time, came in a box like this. But I wasn't aware that the guy who runs the shop, who makes these, does them for all of them. But really cool little box to keep them in. And I actually got this back in the middle of March, but the month of March was so stressful for me, so crazy. I don't even want to talk about it right now. Yes, I will talk a little bit about it when I do get around to making an update video, which unfortunately keeps getting pushed back due to a lot of stuff that's been going on. But don't worry, I'll get to it eventually. But I actually got the three statues I'm about to share with you all. Excuse me. Back during the middle of March, and at the time that I'm recording this video, I actually commissioned another set of 5. There will be delivered to me within the next week. So look forward to another video just like this one and the one previously, prior to this one, in the next week or two, where I show off 5 more little statues. I've kind of come to the point that, at least for right now, partly because they're so inexpensive, $15 a statue, a bit cheaper, if you actually buy them in a bundle, like a 3-pack or 5-pack. But they're tactile enough, they're accessible enough that I'm comfortable enough going back to Ryan. That's the name of the person who owns and runs the All Thing shop on Etsy, and getting statues of my various deities that I honor, that I worship in either side of my practice. Eventually I want to find another shop that makes tactile statues that are a little bit bigger. But for now, I'm super comfortable with these statues, these little figurines, and I'm focusing my efforts on getting all the little figurines of my deities. And part of that is so that I can go ahead and have little statues of... Excuse me. My nose has been tickling all this evening. I can have little statues of my deities, and I have them, and they're accessible, and they're tactile, and I can work with them, and I can do rituals with them, and I don't have to worry about going through the hassle of trying out a new craftsperson and their attempt to make a statue, like I did in a video that I made a little while ago about Loki statue that turned out to be an absolute failure. Unfortunate, but it happens a lot. I know eventually I want to find a person who makes slightly bigger statues, and so at some point I will have to go back into that cycle of buying them, trying one out, seeing if it's tactile or not, and if they are tactile, go with them for making statues of all my deities, though more likely than not having to go through trial and error once again. But anyway, for the time being, at least I know that Ryan can make little statues, miniature statues of all my deities that are very accessible, very tactile. So the 3 that I got this time, that came in this, that I got in this set, are of Jörmungandr, Fenrir, and Sleipnir. Well, we open the box, and the first one popped out is of Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent, Hell, Jörmungandr. I love these little statues. I mean, I love all of them, but these three, he did a wonderful job with them. Great detail work on these little... Smells a little weird, but I can actually like see the coloring for the most part. You know, just see the detail, and this is just wonderful. Jörmungandr. It's funny because when I started really working with the worker deities, with the various Jörtner of big name Jörtner, like Loki and his family, the past years. Well, I've originally started in 2018, but only really picked up steam and officially decided to adopt worker as my official form of heathenry, the official form of the Norse side of my practice this year. Sorry, nose is still tickling me. Like I never really thought that I would get to work with him or would have any kind of relationship with him, her, them. It depends on who you ask. Like, I tend to see them as them, so need to remember to try to use they, them, their pronouns. But I know some people who refer to him as her. I know people who refer to Jörmungandr as he, what have you. But like whenever, like when I started really seriously studying and researching, getting into worker, I was always told that it's really hard to connect with and have a relationship with them because it's hard to they do not, partly because they do not communicate with words like typical beings do, which is kind of true, kind of not. I might discuss that a little bit in another video if anyone's interested. Well, I'll probably get to it eventually because I do want to do a video on how I met Jörmungandr and stuff like that at some point. But I just was kind of blown away because they just kind of showed up here recently. I met them for the first time not too long ago. And while I do not feel super close with them, they are awesome. Like the feeling that I got from them just being in their presence was yeah, you belong there. It's okay. I'm right here. It's cool. You can come to me. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, but anyway, I really like that statue. Hope you all can see this. I'm working with a slightly different camera angle again. I got a hold of one of my family members, Nancy, she's the one who helps me fix my camera, my webcam. Whenever my cat Aiden occasionally comes along and knocks it over. So yeah, but that is lovely. Alright, what's the... Whoa. Grabbing from the wrong end, I guess. Okay. So this next one is of Fenrir. And I'd say out of the three that I have that I got statues of this set, he's the one that I've interacted with the most. I first met him towards the end of 2018. And it was weird because I was traveling in the other world and I kind of got lost and I just kind of end up near him. And it's kind of weird because even among a lot of the people in the Rokurtrue community, there's just a lot of people tend to see him as being nothing but aggression, anger, hatred. And that's, yeah, there is a fierce, wild side to his energy. Don't get me wrong, but it was like when I met him, when I got to hang out with him, and the few times I got to hang out with him since, I felt like I never felt like it was directed at me. And even though the first time I met him, he scared the absolute shit out of my fairy cat companion Nerdry. But just, yeah, I just really like Fenrir, really dig Fenrir. I feel really bad for Fenrir. I mean, my own personal misgivings about Odin aside, the whole thing, the whole thing where where Odin and the Aesir in general just kind of fucked over Fenris. Something awful is one of the reasons why. If it wasn't for the fact that I was fucked over completely by the majority of the Aesir, I could, it just, if it wasn't for that, or just to set that aside, I can relate to Fenrir. Well, I just feel bad for Fenrir and the shit he's gone through. And my experiences with the Aesir, having been betrayed and, abused by a couple of members of the Aesir, I can kind of relate to him on some level. And I think that's one of the reasons why there has been sort of this weird bond. Like, I honestly don't, like, my journey in building my practice in Rokature is still fairly new, more or less. I'm still in the kind of the process is unwinding, undoing, getting rid of the baggage and the damage that was done by the Aesir during my time as an Alsatuar, practicing Alsature years ago. So I cannot say for certain if Fenrir will be the Jörmungandr, will be the worker deity that I work with the most, that I have the most of the closest relationship with. It could be him. It could be his father. It could be any of his family members. I have no idea. But he is cool. I've been able to interact with him a good bit. He's been very helpful, especially lately. So I just really like the statue. Well, I like all three of the statues. They came out really well. That's just awesome. So yeah, there we have Fenrir. And the last, but certainly not least, is Sleipnir. I don't know what I was expecting when this came in, when I first pulled this out of the box, but like when it first arrived, but this was not it. But I'm pleasantly surprised. Entirely pleasantly surprised. Sleipnir is funny. When I first found out that I was going to be able to still practice Norse heathenry, specifically from a Rokature side of things, or from the Rokature side of things, and Breege let me know that she didn't have a problem with me practicing heathenry. She just had an issue with me working with the Aesir due to prior experiences of being betrayed and being fucked over. One of the surprises that I got from both my own divination and as well as from divination that some friends did for me was the fact that Sleipnir wanted to have a relationship with me, and I actually met him real recently. Actually, it's kind of funny, and I'll go into more detail at a later date, but basically I was eating dinner and I was watching TV, and he just kind of popped up, and I kind of saw him out of the corner of my eye with my second sight. And I'm like, whoa. And I know that during some of our communications, some of our interactions, he's let me know that he's want to help me rebuild my abilities with trance working, with traveling, which makes a lot of sense, all things considering. But I was I'm a little surprised that he does, because I know one of the things that kind of popped up when I was first like navigating which of the worker I'd be able to work with, or would have possibility to work with or to get close with the most, which all of them came up as Loki's family members. Surprise, surprise. No, not a surprise at all, actually. It was kind of a surprise for him, especially when he mentioned that he unfortunately, and he sounded very sad when he passed this on to me. So I can only assume that he understands, my disdain and my distrust for Odin. But he's like, it's like, I want to work with you. I want to build a relationship with you, have a devotional relationship with you. But one of the downsides is that I cannot keep Odin away from you, or keep you away from Odin, which makes sense. They're friends, they're partners in a lot of ways. They work together. I have a lot of personal opinions about that I won't get into, but then again, I pretty much think the world of the worst about Odin. But yeah, Sleipnir's cool. Don't know how close I'll get with him you know, in time. But this too is an awesome little statue. Like I said, all three of them are really awesome. Now, let me put that out of the way so you can kind of see these three statues kind of sitting on my computer chair. Hold on, let me move these up just a little bit. You can see these better. But yeah, I really dig these statues. The work that Ryan from the All Thing does is just amazing. The fact that he makes these so small, yet so tactile, so accessible. I mean, granted, there's a little tiny details, primarily with the first batch of statues that I got, not counting the one of Breach, but that I actually had to have him describe them to me. But once he described them to me, I was able to go back and, oh, okay, so that's what that was. And once I knew what to look for, I didn't have any problem figuring out. But with these are great. I can pretty much tell they are. Like, I can determine them with which one is which with no problem whatsoever. So, it's awesome. And I just wanted to share that with you. Anyway, until maybe we'll to converse and share with you next time. May Breach bless. Whoa. That was not...